We're talking Washington State IDPA today, and this is Can We Chat? This podcast has been made possible by our sponsor, the channel Super Subscribers, growing our channel since 2023. What's going on? My name is Paul G., Chief Safety Officer for the IDPA. This channel will help you clarify IDPA rules, shooting techniques, and inform you of the newest gear and what's going on in the shooting community. If you are new here, consider subscribing. Please welcome to the podcast Master Shooter and this year's match director for the Washington State IDPA Championships, Joe Bawden. How are you, buddy?
Doing good, buddy. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
First of all, you have one word to say is congratulations.
Thank you.
That was hell of a feat there.
I appreciate it.
I was very impressed of not only your staff but the stages and, the match ran really well. I think you were overworked, I would have to say.
Yeah,
say it lightly,
was quite a deal, but overall it went well. I got no complaints. I'm exhausted, Paul. I'm ready to go take a nap, but I feel good. There wasn't any, I think in any match you're going to have some kind of hiccup at some point with something. But overall, our hiccups were minor. We made it through with grace and dignity, so we're ready to do it again next year.
So you stayed on campus all this week, right?
Yeah.
Was that what you were telling us?
Yeah. So I threw up the Stat Shack has air conditioning. I learned that last year when during being the MD. I put my cot in the Stat Shack, and this year we didn't need it. It's, I don't know if it's El Nino or something like that. But it was nice and cool this year, so we didn't get too hot.
So this morning it was a little overcast. Is that typical for Washington?
No. This time of year, that's very very atypical. It's usually we've had for the past 3 years. It's been super hot, and I think in 2021 the match director made a call hey, no cover garments on any stage because it's way too hot. It was 110. And so,
110.
Yeah.
Is that even possible in Washington?
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, right? but it was. I don't know. We seem to be going in some kind of cycle or something. But it was super hot that year. But we've had this whole year. We've had I get up. I'm an early riser anyway.
Right.
And so I get up early in the morning and walk the dog, and it's been high 50s, low 60s. So I like it.
So when we shot on Friday, right? It was 70s, mid to high 70s. And
beautiful, right?
Bright, sunny. I had my sunglasses on, and I was talking to Kurt, and I'm like, "Oh my God, look how this is amazing!"
Right?
We were just overwhelmed. I mean, so overwhelmed that I just couldn't pay attention to what I was doing on the range. Right? Yeah. So
it's a beautiful range too, right?
They accommodated for everything. That was 12 stages.
12 stages, yep.
And you shoved them all in. There was
only one double bay.
Two bays, two bays out into the woods. But the thing was that, we're walking with my teammates, and I'm like, wow, this is a beautiful walk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Idyllic, right?
We sat there, we gathered our thoughts, and by the time we were there, we were ready to shoot again.
Heck yeah.
That's a gem.
Nice range, right? Yeah. Especially coming from Sacramento where you guys are. It's got to be super hot there right now, right?
Extremely hot.
I'll bet.
The temperatures that you spoke of before, that's what they're dealing with.
That's what you guys are dealing with every day,
so
right?
we were like, holy cow. And then I'm like, wow, we don't have to wear a cover and stuff
right?
like that.
Hey, you had to wear a jacket because you're cold.
So what was the best thing that you can remember from the match?
Oh, best thing... So early on, this one of the stages that this year, I did the match last year as a match director, and this year I was like, no, I want more. And I was like, that was my first one. I was like the match director, so I was like, oh, I want to make the stages and all that. So this year I was kind of like, no, I want input from other people. Right. So a lot of the stages were input from other folks. So that was really one of my favorite things about it, is that we're not shooting the match that Joe Bawden likes. We're shooting the match that this is a collaborative effort that everybody likes.
So everybody had a little added inspiration to your stages.
Jackie and Joey Russo, I know you know them.
Yes.
Two of my favorite people. Corgi Nation pistol team.
Yes. Corgi guys.
They threw me 2 stages. Brian Buller did one. He's responsible for that epic mover on bay 1. Yeah.
Okay, so now I know who to go after. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that.
Yep. That was Brian. So just probably my favorite thing was the collaborative effort of putting it together this year.
And did that make things like submitting it to HQ a lot easier for you?
Definitely. So, and the stage designers are super cool with me, where I'm like, hey guys, like you submit a design to me and like they're going to change. Like that's just the way it goes. Like they go through, they go through the AC, and you know, like there's so many, I mean, like it's relatively easy. It's not difficult to get through the AC or get approved, but like the nature of Joe is that like, hey, I'm going to get this done early so we can that knocked out of the way. So our stages were approved in like April. And so I had a bunch of people. So they're approved in April. I put them in the matchbook, and I released the matchbook a little bit earlier than some matches do. Yeah. But I had people like messaging me, and they're like, "Hey, on Bay 5, like what is that or what is that?" Right. And I'm like, I don't remember. Because it's been so long since they've been approved. I had to go back and look at my own matchbook to tell them like, this is what this is. So,
but it worked out really well though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us about the Paul Bunyan Rifle and Sportsman Club.
Sure.
How'd you get it there? Is somebody a member there? Or
yeah.
How'd you guys...
I'm a member there. I think most of our SOs are members there. So that's kind of like my home base. Like I shoot out of there most of the time. Like if I'm going to shoot, I shoot USPSA, IDPA, and ASI all out of there. Wow. They do just about everything there. Yeah. They've even got a 600-yard range match,
which we got to see. Right. I'm like, whoa, what the heck is this? Right. This is amazing.
Yeah. So they kind of close down on those days. They close on the bay and then they shoot over the top, which is cool. But I got hooked up with them. So, gosh, I want to say it was like 2013. I was working at the Marksman indoor range and gun store here it's in Puyallap. Oh, okay. And I was like, you know, it's you know, not that I'm not dogging indoor ranges, but indoor ranges are slightly more difficult than
they're hindering, right? So you can only do so much there. Yeah. Yeah, I totally
And so I was looking for something else, and I just kind of Googled and found it, and ended up finding IDPA. And my brother, interestingly enough, my brother was, when I was in high school, I was busy chasing girls and playing basketball.
Was there anything else?
Right, yeah. And my brother was shooting handgun sports. And I was like, the only thing I could remember that he told me about handgun sports was like, it started with an I. And I was like, but I think he was shooting IPSC back then. Right. And so I was like, okay, it starts with an I. I see on the schedule there's this sport called IDPA. I'm going to that.
So and that's how I found IDPA. Is there a lot of shooting sports in Washington? Or?
Yeah, I mean, like I think that. So I think that by the numbers, California has like the most match fees paid comes out of California. Right. That's also partly because you have the most people I think ever
per square mile. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Right.
Which isn't but good because like more shooters the better. But of the areas of the country that I would consider like really like the good places to shoot, or the good places in terms of like finding a match where you could shoot every weekend if you wanted to. Right. Arizona and Washington are two of the best.
I would have to say so. Well, California being the most restrictive, right? Right. And I can't believe that they have the most shooters. Right. But
I was surprised by that too.
I'm still trying to figure that out. But Washington and Arizona. I know Arizona for a fact. You can do it night and day. And then you have the addition or extended days here, right? That runs into the night. So that's when you can shoot even more.
For sure.
When I got off the plane, I sat there and went, wow, this is interesting. Yeah. And now I'm a believer. Yeah. Yeah. Washington is where it is.
My assistant match director, Josh Stone, and I, he's also stayed at the range with me overnight. Right. So last night it wasn't a match or anything, but the rifle range was active till about 9:30 at night. And so I'm like, hey, people are coming out to shoot, all the better.
So Josh worked a charity event definitely all Friday and Saturday. Mm-hmm. Yep. Tell us about that.
Sure. So Josh asked me early on, he had a friend who had a daughter who unfortunately they lost her to cancer. It was a terrible situation. And I think that most of the people, I mean, I don't know anybody who hasn't known somebody or been affected by cancer. So it's a terrible situation. Josh he came to me early and said, hey, like, I think we should do the side match. And we'll raise money for this. In this particular situation, it was very difficult to get the young lady back home to Washington to spend her remaining days with her parents and her family. And so, like I said, hey, we're going to figure that out. We're going to do something.
Tell us about what's going on here.
So this is a bonus stage at the Washington State Championships. This is a stage for charity. So it's real simple. It's going to be 2 reload 2 from the table. All the money is going to go to a family that their daughter just passed away from cancer. The proceeds are going to go to help with burial expenses, etc., whatever they need it for.
We were able to raise over $2,000 to give to the family, and it all goes. We didn't keep any of it. We gave it directly to them.
Wow.
The side match was it's from a table start, hands above shoulders, pick up the gun, shoot 2, reload, shoot 2, and it really like showed me something about IDPA shooters, was because it was like, we're all competitive. We're all out there. We want to win.
Almost to passion.
Yes, exactly. And so, but everybody's competitive within a division, but everybody came out to that, and I was not surprised, but pleasantly surprised at how everybody was like, yeah, man, I got to get back over there. I got to get back over there.
Right.
I got to try it again. And so like, and all the better, because it's just, it raised a bunch of money that went to a good cause. So super good time. And I think we're going to think about that going forward.
Well, it's not a drill that I would have to say that would be a common thing to practice, right?
Yeah.
But when you open that up, especially your warm up and cool downs, right?
Yep, for sure.
I would have to say that was the first time that I had to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, oh, that's insane.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. And that I caught the bug, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait until the cool down.
Heck yeah.
So I was like,
let's do it again. Yeah, that's hilarious.
That's commendable. You guys did a great job. That worked out really well.
Yeah.
I'd say that charity should be part of every match that we do. So, but you couldn't have done this without your staff, right?
Oh gosh, I got, so if you'll allow me, the names I'd like to. So Marshall Reed is our target master.
What does the target master do?
Well, I mean, like,
master.
That's his moniker for himself. But what he should be is just a guy who does everything.
So Mr. MacGyver.
Mr. MacGyver. I mean, he fixes all the movers.
Wow.
He hooked up, I mean, everything. So like, this is how easy he made it for me, Paul, is that like, I brought the mover to the stage and said, I want it right here, and I want it to face this direction. Yeah. And then he said, got it, boss, walk away. Okay, and then I come back and it's exactly what I want it to be. If it's a turner, a swinger, whatever, he does it all. He fixed it all. He hooked up all, because like we measure the length of cord and the pulley that pulls this and does that, and he did it all. And that's not with just the movers. I mean, it was every target. He made every target, everything.
So Josh, these guys were in the those cool little side by sides.
Yeah,
it's all staged, right? And they're all waiting for your word.
Yeah,
and all of them. So who else? So Josh.
Josh. Right? Josh Stone. He was out there with me every day, making calls, running the side match, keeping track of all that, because I gave him a tablet and said, here, like I'm also doing stats, because I do the stats for our locals, all of our locals.
Oh,
and so I was
perfect.
like,
So that's your quality control.
Yes. And so like, I'm the guy, I'm like, hey, I'll just do stats too. And so did all that.
Right.
I think you have footage of that.
I did. So I noticed that you were specifically the only one that was actually calling rules.
Yes, Josh did some too.
Okay.
It's just so the way that Paul Bunyan is set up, because we've got the 2 bays that are so far away.
Yes.
Is that I kind of had Josh going back down there, or if I'm up here, and so like Josh knows the rules probably better than I do.
And then you got your electric scooter cart.
Yeah, I did my cool guy scooter thing. Yeah,
which I thought was brilliant.
Yeah,
so
thanks to Rob and Marcy Bartlett, they brought that for me. Which I'm just now remembering I may have left at the range, so I better call somebody when we're done here.
Okay. So all of your SOs. So I would have to say that there were amazing SOs out there, right?
Yeah,
so
the best,
especially on Saturday.
Yep.
I was taking a look at the way they treated the the squads out there, the
Yeah,
shooters. They allowed us to come in and video for you.
Yeah.
So that was really
I
nice.
appreciate you guys too coming in and doing that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And so how's the safety officers? How do you train your safety officers these days?
So we've got a really good state coordinator. He handles most of
Sean.
that. Sean Hallinan.
Yes.
Yep. He handles most of that. He was our AC delegate this year.
He was in a side-by-side moving
Yep.
back and forth.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, you don't say that often.
Yeah.
Right? So
Frank Strong is our AC, but he's the Nationals match director. So I mean, we're here in July.
Yes.
And so I'm sure he's busy with Nationals.
with Nationals, Talladega, right?
Yeah.
So,
Talladega, you going down?
Well, I'm busy because I'm saving up for the sheepdog.
Oh, right.
in
We talked
December,
about that.
yeah. So I only get
Sheepdog's another great match.
Oh my gosh! So my dear friend Ben Watson, right?
Yeah.
So is taking care of that
Perfect.
nuts thing over
Yeah.
there. So I'm on my way out there. So
That'll be a great match.
Hey, tell me about the young ladies at the your front check-in desk.
Oh, sure. So we had Jackie Russo, you know Jackie.
Russo.
And Kathy came out for me. So we had, just the way that things work out. We had a number of staff that were unable to make it this year. Like originally they said, hey, I'd love to come work, sure. And then family emergencies and work sent some people away. And so this was the first time I really got to know Kathy, but she was great. They took care. So as a match director, I'm like, it's kind of your job to worry about everything. You know what I mean?
Oh, and you did that well.
I did. I hope it wasn't too obvious. But I'm the guy who it's very, it's not difficult for me, but I'm the kind of guy who's like, well, this needs to be done, and this needs to be done, and this needs to be done. So I had Jacqueline Hallinan.
Yes.
We call her Jacqueline.
Okay.
And Kathy and Jackie, they were really good about being like, we'll do that.
Right.
Go and do the other thing. And
Right.
so they were really good about keeping me on track and keeping me focused. And
I noticed
keeping
that
going.
was a common theme.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You have surrounded yourself with some amazing people, right?
Yeah.
So they just kind of sit around and hey, I'm well ahead of you. Let me take care of that for
Right.
you.
Yeah.
And so
They were wonderful.
That was one less thing
Yeah.
you had to worry about.
Yep. Our other assistant match director, Bernie Oxford.
Yes.
He's our behind the scenes man.
Yes, and he was behind the scenes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so I chatted with him, and
Yep.
once I got him going.
Yeah. He'll talk to you. But he's the man who, if you enjoyed having water, ice, snacks, food, that's because Bernie did all that.
Everything was there that I needed.
Yeah.
As a shooter.
Yep.
So I every time I got, because we all our stuff was just we minimalist, right?
Yeah.
So we walked around. I was thirsty. There you go.
There it
There's
is.
the water.
Yeah.
And
All thanks to Bernie.
He did an amazing
Yep.
job. So you had lunch ready for all the shooters.
Yep.
I walked around. The common theme was they just love what was going on.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they always come back, right?
Yep. I think so too.
So
I hope so.
So 150 people for next year, it would be nothing.
Yeah, I think so too. We had a few drop out. I mean, that's common in most matches, I think.
Right.
At least every year that I've been associated with a tier 3 or a tier 4 is that, more people sign up than show up.
Right.
But not a lot, but a few drop out, and we had a few more staff drop out this year than we usually do.
Yeah.
But family emergencies are what they are. Family first. So everybody who asked said,
So
no.
your
go take care of
scheduling,
your
do you
family.
think it's on perfect?
No.
Or would you prefer it to
If
be?
I had to do it again, and I might in the future, but work is going to probably keep me out of match directing in the future, but I'll still be stats. I'll still be around doing this.
Okay.
If I had to do it again, I'd probably offer the make another all day staff, or not all day staff, all day squad.
Right.
And then remove the PM AM. Just nobody wanted to do it.
PM, AM.
Yeah, PM Saturday and AM Sunday.
Got it.
Nobody, it was just kind of, everybody either wanted to do, the match kind of split up like this. Everybody either wanted to do all day Saturday
Right.
or they wanted to do AM. And I get that. It's just, that's what their preferences are. People
Right.
vote by getting into what squad they want to be in.
Right.
And so there was just not enough interest, I guess, in PM AM. So
Okay.
if I had to do it again, I'd say, hey, we're not going to do that. Let's make, because people who want to shoot it in 2 days, I want them to have that option. And the people that want to shoot it in 1 day, I want them to have that option too. And the other option I would put in for staff is, somebody brought it up to me that like, hey, you know, why don't we give the staff the option of, because the executive staff shot on Thursday.
Right.
Why don't we open that up to staff? Because like, I didn't want to tell people like, be here on Thursday.
Right.
But if they wanted to, sure, come in on
an
Thursday.
AM thing
For staff.
them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that would be an interesting idea.
Look at you fine tuning
Yeah.
already. We haven't even got there.
Yeah.
So technically, did you hit your numbers for tier 4?
No, we didn't. We hit for tier 3 easily. I think we'll build, and we're with your help and with everybody else's help. I think we're going to be able to keep going and get there. But we made it to tier 3, and so that's good enough for us for now.
All the essentials for tier 4
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
So there's not much more other than getting the numbers out there, right?
Yep. Getting the name out there, getting the numbers out there.
This is going to be good.
I think so too.
So you described your sponsors as good people, right?
Absolutely.
And you had an awful lot.
Yes.
Including yourself.
Yes.
Right? So so Joe's a fellow YouTuber, right?
Yep.
So your channel
We get out
is
there.
Team DZ214.
DZ214. Yep.
So that's down 024. What's 214?
Yes. So DZ214 is a bit of a play on words. So we have DZ214. The document that you're given when you get out of the military is a DD214.
Okay.
So we're adding IDPA to DD214, and we came up with DZ214.
Okay.
And so we've www.dz214.com DZ-214.com. Sorry, I should probably be better about knowing that.
Yeah, you got to go by and take a look at his channel as well. If you're looking for extreme advanced shooting, we're talking with multiple levels or like bug, carry optics, and so forth. This is the guy.
Thanks, man.
Definitely. He's one of my heroes with definitely the bug.
Yeah,
thing,
I bounce around.
Realtors, auto parts.
Yeah.
You had all of that stuff.
Yep. Good friends of the match and friends of mine, Monty and Debbie Thompson. They are the Napa sponsor. They're great people. I'm sure you've run into them before because they've been here at this match. They've been in lots of other matches. Right. Great people, donated to the match. Vicki Jennings in Windermere Realty, she donated. She's great. Coordination Pistol Team, Triad Firearms Training from Jackie and Joey donated. Rain City Tactical, our match sponsor, Ryan over there. Like, man, if you haven't seen his holsters yet, like, check them out, man, because they're super good. And he's one of those guys who's just like every time I go in there, I got to be like, hey, no, man, like I'm gonna pay for it. He's always trying to like be like, hey, man, you're your friend, like just one of those guys that's shirt off your back kind of guy. But
it's community, right?
Yeah, he's part of the IDPA community. He's part of the shooting community around here. Like just a great guy. Dawson Precision, they give us a BOGO deal.
You had base pads up the. You look like Santa Claus with all the base pads that you had, right?
Yep.
So that was incredible.
They're great. They gave us sights, base pads, all kinds of things. Checkmate, every year they come through for us, so we appreciate them.
So what does Checkmate do?
They make a lot of 1911 parts, and last year they gave us we had 1911 magazines for everybody. It was great. They did gift certificates this year, just as good. We appreciate it. But yeah, they gave us every year they come through for us. Gosh, I don't want to forget anybody. Dawson, Rain City, Lock Grips. Yeah, man, it was just
Blue Bullets.
Blue Bullets.
Yes.
Thank you.
No,
Gosh.
you had Blue Bullets.
Yep. The match was the second match launch was Blue Bullets. Every year they've come through for us. They've given us they give us gift certificates, and they're the #1 bullet. I think
sunglasses, I would have to say.
Yes, HD Gold.
They actually gave me a certificate. Thank you very much for that.
There you go.
That was very cool.
Hunters HD Gold. They're a staple in our community now. Like and I think that part of getting up to the next level is like, oh hey, when you got Hunters HD Gold because they're that good. So yeah.
Well, I mean, you couldn't do it without your sponsors.
Heck yeah.
Right?
Oh gosh, no. Gosh, no.
Man. So if you would to summarize the whole match in one word, what would it be?
Community. I mean, like this is just us. I mean, like every year, like I like coming, I like shooting, I like putting it together, I like doing it all. But like most of my favorite times aren't like I like shooting and all that, but like I like joshing around with everybody and shooting the bull and everything else that comes along with seeing everybody and talking about like, hey man, what'd you do over there and what did you do over there and how did this go and how did that go? That's just the best part of it.
Look who I found! Vic, so how did the stage go?
It went pretty well. Just the small stage gun was a little bit of a challenge. I'm not used to iron sights nor a gun quite that small, so.
So have you ever shot a bug before?
I have, but I don't if I can help it.
It looked amazing though.
Good for the gram, then I'll take it.
Well, good luck for the rest of the day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So,
well, straight from Joe Bawden's mouth, right? Community.
Heck yeah, man.
So, a special shout out to our viewers that hit the super thanks button. This is your support. Busy at work. We appreciate all that you do for the channel. We thank you very much for that. Please consider being a part of our shooting community, building relationships around safe gun practice and IDPA competition. My name is Paul G, and this is
Joe Bawden.
Please be safe, and we shall see you on the range. Like, share, subscribe. That cup is yours.
Oh, thank you.
So
super cool.
Man, hopefully I just got all the stuff on the camera.
All right, let's do it again. Turn the camera on.
All right, okay, so.